What's going on, Ambitious Vets? Welcome to episode number 8 of The Ambitious Vet with Increased Freedom founder and Army Special Forces veteran Lane Belone. Welcome to The Ambitious Vet. My name is Chris Hoffman, former Marine combat veteran turned passion-driven entrepreneur. Now we are here to dig into the trenches with today's top-performing military veterans that were once warrior-made but are now passion-driven. With them sharing their stories and their blueprints, we hope to empower you and unlock your secret formulas to live a more meaningful, fulfilling, and top-performing civilian life. Are you getting out with a big vision, but realizing very quickly that you're getting met with big adversity out of the uniform? Or maybe you just desire deeply to succeed, but just don't know where to start. Well, guys, I want you guys to come join us at Veteran Empowerment Transition. It's a Facebook group on Facebook. We're bringing hundreds of ambitious veterans that are just action takers. You're going to be able to meet up with and connect with past, present, and future guests on this show. More importantly, guys, you're going to be connecting with hundreds of action-taking veterans that aren't falling victim to government benefits and I'm a disabled veteran so I can't grow. We are ambitious veterans that are sharing strategies, networks, and resources and tools on how we thrive together out of the uniform and not survive. So guys, if you are an ambitious vet, if you're an action taker and you're desiring more, come meet up with us at Veteran Empowerment Transition. We'll see you there. All right, so our guest today is Lane Belone. Now, Lane is an Army Special Forces veteran that served a little bit under 12 years in the Army. He is now founder of Increased Freedom. He's traveled in over 34 different countries on 6 continents. He was originally raised in a small town in Oklahoma, which I can kind of definitely understand coming from a small town out of St. Louis, Missouri, how it's like I want to travel the world and kind of gain a different perspective. But this guy is creating a huge movement of people and just experiencing more and gaining a deeper self-awareness around traveling more. Guys, his message is, how do I live a more fulfilled life through gaining a different perspective in the world, guys? This guy is a viral blogger out there, and he's an author of a new book called Master the Fundamentals of Travel. Guys, let's go ahead and welcome Lane Belone to the Ambitious Vet.
How's it going?
Brother, it's going, brother. It's going. So, yeah, man. So welcome to the show, brother.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you got it. You got it, brother. So, yeah, man, I just want to kind of dig in, man. I know you just got out of the uniform, like about a year ago?
Yeah, just less than a year ago, earlier this year. So about 4 months,
gotcha.
4 or 5 months, yeah.
Nice, man. So, yeah, and you're already starting to kind of create some good traction, some good momentum in your life. And you're really connected to who you are, which I really admire and appreciate about you. And I kind of want you just to kind of share, starting out, tell us a little bit about your transitional story, man. From the beginning of 6 months of maybe getting out to actually just your process over the next, last, few months of being out, and kind of share that story with us.
Yeah, so my transition was years in the making. It was after I decided that I got what I wanted out of the military. And so I began thinking about what I wanted to do and what my wife wanted to do. And so we decided that we wanted to move to Panama. That's where she was born. I can use my GI Bill to go to school and then while simultaneously building Increased Freedom. So it started out years and then leading up to the date I transitioned, it was in around mid-March this year. So we had the whole summer to figure out what we wanted to do. And we had also talked about doing a road trip. So that was also implemented in the plan of the transition. So we got out of the military. We were living in Germany at the time. We moved back to the States. And we did a 3-month across America road trip. We drove through 37 states. Wow. We saw a bunch of friends and family. We were able to just kind of really see the different cultures and the different perspectives all around the country. Each state was very unique. Each state has its pros and cons, and it was really refreshing to be able to see the difference between the states in the north and south, and just the different perspectives in such a short period of time. So after the road trip, we prepared to move down to Panama, Central America. So we've been here for about 3 weeks, getting settled in. I recently started up my university. Florida State University has a campus down here, and then also finishing up my book, The Art of Fulfilled Travel. So that takes me to right here in this interview right now.
Come on, man. Yeah, brother. So that's awesome. That's a lot of awesome stuff, man. You've definitely experienced a lot in your life. I can really get that, like, even for, someone like you, man, like, you've really discovered who you are all about through taking yourself through that journey of traveling and experiencing more in life. So can you tell us a little bit about what you discovered throughout that process of traveling, and kind of what's brought you up into this point of writing a book about this whole idea?
Yeah, so when I first joined the military, my first duty station was in Germany. And about 6 months after I got there, my grandma, she came and visited me, and we did a Euro trip. One of our first stops was Zurich, Switzerland. And we were sitting at this restaurant called Swiss Churchy. And since then, I've been there a couple times just to reminisce about this story. And her and I, we were, enjoying dinner, and we started having a conversation with the couple next to us, and they were older, just like my grandma. And we were talking, and I just realized that I was just listening, and I didn't really know very much of what they were talking about. They were talking about politics. They were talking about the world. They spoke multiple languages, and I was just this lost young man, just turned 19, living in a foreign country, and I realized that I don't know very much, and so at that point I decided that I wanted to continue learning, be a student of life, and just try to be a contributor to good conversations. Is what I initially started out as. So that experience of getting outside of myself, witnessing different perspectives, is what really drew me to travel. And so being able to, I was lucky enough to be able to live in a foreign country at an impressionable age. And so I did a lot of traveling. I was able to see new things, and really just opened my eyes to that there's different perspectives that you can look at through the world, and different lenses that you can look at through the world. So all those travel experiences brought me to the point of where I'm at now, to where I'm able to look in a very empathetic way to somebody's story, somebody's life, and not cast judgment, and to be able to really step into their shoes and see how I can be of value in their life. And so the book and Increased Freedom is all about enabling people to do something similar. Now, everybody's path is different, but being able to say, hey, I can give you the knowledge, the information, so that way you can have the confidence to go out and explore things, to go out and experience new things in life and travel. And that experience for yourself, you'll begin to find out who you are and what you're doing, and what your mission is going to be, for the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, that's amazing, brother. Like what I get from what you're saying, because I traveled a lot whenever I was serving. I went to Afghanistan. We all know that there's not much there, but stopped in Russia. Lived in Japan for 2 years at a headquarters, duty station out there, and really what I get looking back, my traveling through what you just shared, man, what you're passionate about is that, we're gaining different perspectives in the world that expand our way of thinking, and it has us get outside of ourselves, and has us really get grounded into what's important, what we value, and, really, like you said, it's kind of getting to a point of fulfillment, and by gaining deeper perspective on the world as a whole. So, man, that's some really good stuff.
Yeah, and I'm glad to share it, and I'm glad to be at this point in my path to be able to give back to others, because looking back, there were so many people that helped me along my journey. They were small influences here, people that were guiding me in the right direction. And that was actually part of the road trip experiences, was to let people know that, hey, I appreciate what you did, for me, 20 years ago when I was a young kid, and
Right.
being able to, be grateful and thankful for all the help that I've given, or that I've gotten, and to be able now to give it back to other people that are either just now starting on their path, or somebody that maybe needs a nudge right in the right direction.
Right. Right. It's great, man. Your heart is in the right place, and your story alone is going to help a lot of people, man. So thank you for who you are in that perspective. So kind of what I want to dig into now, man, is sharing your story, kind of sharing what's led up to this point. Now, you getting out of the military, have you found that resources have been like the best thing, or being resourceful is the key thing when you're out of the uniform, and why?
Yeah, I think resources are great, but I think being resourceful is greater. And so you can take that resourcefulness and find resources. It's a mindset that you're able to figure things out. You're a problem solver, and you're able to
Right.
look at whatever situation you're at, and how can I have the best outcome for this particular situation, and who do I need to talk to, what resources do I need to look up, and just being a little hungry for what you're wanting to do. And so, yeah, I think you nailed it right on the head. Like, being resourceful is absolutely one of the key ingredients for a transition, whether that's from military to civilian or any other transition in your life.
Right. It's awesome, brother. Yeah. Yeah. How, kind of what I teach over here too is kind of the same thing that you were saying, is if you don't get to a resourceful state, you're never going to be able to utilize the resources and the strategies and stuff like that you're going to gain, because it's going to be a means to an end of really going nowhere. But if you get to a place of being resourceful and understanding who you are, kind of like what you've been doing as far as traveling, gaining a deeper perspective on life, and getting away from all this noise of the world that tells us what to buy, tells us who to follow, what we should be, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you really get connected to who you are. And as you discover that, you become resourceful, you can actually know what strategies and resources to take advantage of. So that's awesome stuff. So, man, I want to kind of dig into this, man, because you've gained success very, very quickly out of the uniform, brother. I mean, we're part of some of the same groups, veteranpreneur groups and all that kind of stuff, man. You're gaining a big audience, man. I think the last time I checked even on your Facebook Increase Freedom page, you have close to 900 followers already, man. I'm peanut butter and jelly over here. So, brother, your message is definitely touching a lot of hearts. So I want you to share with the audience today of Ambitious Veterans, man, what has had you gain the traction that you've been able to gain, man? Like, a lot of people, when they get out of the uniform, kind of like myself, I got lost for about a year, right? I didn't have that accountability, that traction, never could really create rhythm out of the uniform. What would you suggest you've done, and what has had you gain that traction, that create that accountability for you to become as successful as you are today, man?
Yeah, so I think that creating familiarity with what you enjoyed about the military into your transition. And what I mean by that is, if you are a person that is transitioning out of the military and that really likes structure or really likes being organized, you have to replicate that in the civilian version. So if you really enjoy like getting up early and doing PT, so you recreate that experience outside of the uniform. And in addition to that, I think that creating a solid plan on what you're going to be doing from the day you get out till anywhere from 1 to 3 years, having that
Yes.
game plan on,
Right.
this is what I'm going to be doing on a daily basis. These are the habits that I'm going to be practicing every day, that are going to transition my military into civilian, and trying to replicate as much familiarity, because whenever somebody steps into a new environment, new country, there's this like almost shock that that happens of this unfamiliar terrain, this unfamiliar space. And the more that you can carry over from your familiar background into your new endeavor, I think that's going to help you almost take baby steps into the next chapter. So I think familiarity, and then creating a plan, a solid plan from 1 to 3 years from the day you get out, are really great things to think about. In addition to a lot of other stuff that I think we're going to talk about in the book. So.
Yeah, nice, man. I'm excited about that book. As I said before, man, like, this, I know when you're going to share about kind of what increased freedom is in a bit, but your blogs are amazing, man. Like I told you even before this, I was reading some of your blogs, and just kind of like, the meaning that you bring behind words kind of really touches people on a deeper level, even from a guy like me that thinks he's mastered like habits and routines that kind of set me up for momentum and success. Man, I thought I was an expert. I read your blogs. I was just like, yeah, I need to be following this guy. So, yeah, man, you're an amazing writer. I'm really excited about that book, brother.
Thanks for the kind words.
So, yeah, brother, you got it, man. And I'm actually lucky for you to be a contributor of the book that we're going to be collaborating with. That's going to be launching soon. The content that you've already sent over is going to make the world a difference, brother. So, you got a brilliant mind, my friend. So. Now I want to kind of dig into, what's Lane's core values? What drives your daily behaviors every day? And kind of tell us a little bit about why that is. Because I know you're very, very intuitive, you're heart-driven and stuff like that. So what are some of the core values that you live by every single day?
Yeah, so if I had to break it down into my top 3, I would say seek absolute truth. The second one would be to be authentic, and the third would be to give gratitude as often as you can. So the first one, seek absolute truth. We live in a day where it's, there's a lot of misinformation, and whenever you seek absolute truth, you're able to step outside of yourself and step out and see things from a different perspective. So one example that I have, and it was a picture that I saw on the internet, and it was basically a cylinder in the middle of the picture, and from one angle it had light shining, and then it had light shining from another angle. So on one shadow it looked like a rectangle, and then from another shadow it looked like a circle. So when you look at the shadows, one looks like a circle, one looks like a rectangle, and that would be a truth. But when you look at the original shape, that is a cylinder. So when people, news outlets are notorious for this, people on the internet are notorious for this, they're able to grab a hold of a truth, but it's not absolute truth. So I think that whenever you seek absolute truth, you're able to see what most people don't want to see based on their own biases or perspectives. And you're able to kind of call people out on their BS, in certain ways. And so that's always a good effect. So that you're not persuaded by certain information out there. Be authentic. I think that there's a lot of meaning behind that, but being authentic is what you say, what you do, are in congruence with each other. So you're able to, whenever you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. There's a lot of people nowadays that like, oh yeah, I'll give you a call next week, or oh, let's hang out next week, or oh yeah, I'll send you that over, tomorrow, and nobody, nothing ever happens. Or if somebody, so like that, that happens all the time. And being somebody that's authentic is somebody that's dependable. And if you're authentic, people know that the stuff that's coming from your heart is what you're doing, and then they could trust you. So being authentic, there's a lot of layers behind that, but those are some really great examples. And then the third one was being grateful. I think that being grateful allows you to remain grounded no matter what kind of success that you have in life, because being grateful lets you kind of put it in perspective that other people in other countries don't have what you have, and especially us in America. If you're watching, in America, there's so many luxuries that we have that a lot of people around the world don't have. And so I think that being grateful for not only the big things that we have, but the small things are what's going to keep us level-headed and grounded and continue with our mission in life. So.
Yeah, brother. That's deep. That's deep, man. That is really deep, man.
Deep as
Like,
the ocean.
I can't. Oh man, I'm
Maybe not
reading
that
the book
deep.
Ocean Strategy right now. Yeah, that's good, brother. Well, I mean, I can't even add anything to that. I think you said everything that needed to be said right there. And just you being someone that has experienced a lot more than someone that has not, say, traveled the world as much as you kind of have the outside perspective of what's going on globally versus our day to day. Where am I going to buy my coffee today? The
Yeah.
problems that we have.
Yeah.
So
First world
that's good
problems.
stuff,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Right, man. So before we get into what increased freedom is, you being someone that just transitioned, less than a year ago, if you could go back 6 months from getting out of the uniform, okay, place yourself 6 months from being out of the uniform now. So I know you served over 12 years, correct?
Yeah. Just under 12. Yeah.
Just under 12,
Yeah.
right. What would be the three things that if you went back 6 months from being out that you would execute on today if you knew what you knew today? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What would be the three things you would execute on today if you were 6 months from getting out of the uniform?
So I think that finances are a huge thing. That's going to be the root of most people's transitions problems. So like having that set, at least as part of your plan to 6 months after I get out, I'm financially stable. And so that's going to take away a lot of stress, a lot of worry. And especially if you have kids and wife and family, that's just going to make the stress even more. So getting your finances straight. I think planning, like we talked about earlier, the secret with the planning is the longer term you can think, the better the outcome, I believe. So because it's just like if you think a couple months down the road after you get out, you're going to leave a lot of things to chance. You're going to think, I'll just submit a whole bunch of resumes, and I should get a job within 3-4 months, and then once I get a job, I'll be good. But if you think 1 to 3 years, and that's just a recommended minimum, 1 to 3 years. But those are great numbers to think about for a long-term plan. What you're going to be doing, how you're going to be making, how your finances are going to be looking. Are you going to be transitioning to a GI Bill kind of situation?
Right.
And with plan, always having a backup plan, a pace plan, contingency plans. So us in the military, we were taught almost from day one that if you have 2 is 1, 1 is none kind of thing. Everything that you do, you have a backup plan and then some. So planning is a huge thing. And the third thing, I'm trying to think of another third one. We talked about it a couple days ago.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like kind of the book that we're writing together right now. I think one thing is that we kind of need to add in is the support system.
Oh yeah.
Having a good support system is key, man. I don't know how much I could say whenever I got out back in 2012 from the Marine Corps, how I tried to do everything myself. And I felt like, really disconnected from, I thought like I was the old dog with old tricks because I was the guy that was out of the uniform. And I didn't want to reach out to any of my guys that were serving live, that were my brothers. So I kind of became the black sheep just trying to connect with the civilian world. So I think the key also on top of what you've just shared, brother, is like a good grounded support system that's aligned with what you're trying to do with your life. And making sure that you guys are progressing, not digressing, and holding yourselves accountable for what you said you wanted to get out of the uniform for daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever. So I think a support system is a really big thing too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of add on to what you're saying, relationships. So whether you're married or you have girlfriend or whatever relationships that you have as you're transitioning, ensure that you're talking with people, ensure that you're communicating
Right.
with your loved ones, because those are going to be, times where you're going to feel uncertain, and they're going to be the ones that are giving that comforting ear, that listening ear, and when the time is right, they'll give the feedback that you need to hear. And so cultivating your existing relationships, and then of course building new ones as you see
Right.
fit. But yeah, and that's all encompassing into the kind of the
Yeah.
support system that you were talking about.
Absolutely, my man. Strategic partnerships, man. As I get to know more of who I am and where I'm going and how clear I am with my mission, goals, and all that, it's crazy how the world works, but it just manifests those partnerships like you in my life that I'm so grateful for. Because now what the lives we're going to be able to touch through each other's audiences and through the words that we're going to be able to communicate through this book and our future endeavors together is just going to create waves, man. So
I'm looking
brilliant
forward
stuff. So,
to it, man.
man, oh man, brother, I don't think they're ready for it.
Nah, they ain't ready.
So they ain't ready, man. They ain't ready. So, anyways, brother, I want to get into increased freedom. Okay, tell us a little bit about what increased freedom means to you and why you've created this, this brilliant idea around this brand of increased freedom.
Yeah, it started out as a way just to give back, and I didn't know what it was at first, and I'm still continuing to figure out what exactly it is. But as of now, it's a way to help influence people to reach their potential through travel and experience. And so I try to do a lot of different things. I believe in this thing called Everyday Leadership. It's a TED Talk. I think that everybody should watch it. It's basically that the idea is that the small things that you do every day matter to somebody that you don't know. So a message that you say, a piece of writing that you put out there in the universe, no matter how big you may think it is or how small you think it is, it's going to reach somebody, and that could be the time that where it saves somebody's life, it changes somebody's life, it's a pivot point for somebody's life for them to turn into the right direction, or just to implant an idea for them to get put in the right direction. So the idea of everything that I do behind Increased Freedom is behind that everyday leadership premise. And so through blog posts, through sharing, I do a lot of sharing on my Instagram account, and just small bit by bit daily inspiration, so to speak, or just different perspectives where you can look at the world through just a slightly different lens. And which throughout my travels and while building the community, now I put together a book, and it's been years in the making, and I'm on actually version 2. I was telling you earlier, to share this idea of fulfilled travel, which fulfilled travel is a way to experiment while traveling to get a fulfilled life and to get happiness in life. So it's all kind of based on travel experience and using those to reach your potential and whatever thing that you want to do in life. And guys like me are here to help. Guys like you are here to help. And I just encourage everybody to reach out, to ask questions, to bear it all, in a private message, and just say, hey man, I need some help, or hey man, you talked about this, and would you kind of explain it again, or like, hey, I have this situation, what do you think about it? And it's we have this giving heart, we have this thing that we want to just make the world a better place, and I think that if we just continue to do the message and do this thing of everyday leadership, and I think it's just gonna turn out to be a great thing, and I'm excited every single day, and I'll wake up every day just ready to do this, and so I'm just excited about it.
Yeah, I can tell, brother, and you're very well connected to what you're doing. and the lives, who you're looking for and the lives that you're going to be, transforming through your experiences and your story. So brother, where can they go to find you? And that, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that watch this that are going to be anticipating that book. Like I said, I'm blown away by your writing, just a little that I've read. I have huge background in personal development, human performance, and just your writing even hits home to me. And how you write just really pulls out some good stuff and blind spots that I didn't even know I had. So where can people go and find more about you, your writings, and even potentially get connected to this book that you're about to launch?
Yeah, so increasefreedom.com is the website. That's the central hub of nearly everything that I'm doing right now. Increasefreedom.com/book is going to be is where you can find out more about the book, what it's about, and eventually that'll be a place where you can get you a copy of it. And I'm very active on Instagram, at Increase Freedom. So you can find me at any of those places. Of course, our Facebook page is Increase Freedom. So they're all around, at Increase Freedom. And we're just here to help. We're here to inspire and look forward to anybody and everybody to connect. And just super excited. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Awesome, brother. So, brother, I just want to thank you for who you are, man, because you are a veteran. That you guys are probably wondering what this sign says behind me, that thinks big. You're an amazing leader, brother. You got a huge community already that you're touching on big levels, and just your heart and how vulnerable you shared today around your values, what drives you, and just kind of like the individuality that you've expressed today, man, is super inspiring. Guys, if you want to get connected with him, I'm going to be actually adding the links to Increase Freedom below here, guys. Definitely get to know this guy. Read a few of his blogs, just amazing writing. As you can tell, a huge heart, guy with a big vision. If you guys aren't connecting with this guy, I don't know what the hell you guys are going to be doing, because this guy is definitely someone to follow. Follow his writing, get his book, because I think anybody could get more fulfillment out of experiencing more. So guys, this is The Ambitious Vet. Again, I'm your host, Chris Hoffman. We've had Lane Belone on. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, brother. So guys, if you like this, just go ahead and share it. Comment it, like it, do whatever you guys want to do with it. We're just, really our bigger vision for this show is to give you raw, authentic material from like my living room, right? And giving you raw material from leaders like Lane that are just trying to cash their vision in between their passion projects and what they're doing every single day, guys. So definitely share, comment, like this. And guys, until next time, hold the vision and trust the process. Bye-bye, guys.
Hope you guys enjoyed episode 8 with Lane Belone. Guys, I'm going to point out one golden grenade that I got from this. One thing that he was quoted in saying inside this interview was seek absolute truth and step outside of yourself. Seek absolute truth and step outside of yourself. Guys, I want you guys to kind of be with that. And really what I'm going to expand on with that is guys, ask yourself this question. On a daily basis, when you're living your life on a daily basis, are you seeking truth? Or are you thinking that your perspective on life is the truth? Right? Now, I'm not trying to get too woo-woo. I know us veterans are just all about execution. How do I become successful and strategic leaders and stuff like that, right? But guys, I really want to see more veterans out of the uniform. Just go out there and actually gain a deeper perspective on life. Get grateful on the small things, because guys, we did it. Guys, we were the ones that were out there serving. We were the ones out there sacrificing out of the uniform. And just like Lane Belone being a Special Forces Army veteran who probably saw a hell of a lot out there, first thing he did was travel the world and gain a deeper, simpler perspective on life and found gratitude and found joy and fulfillment in the small things, guys. So for any of you guys that are going to listen to this, or anybody that shares this and you're listening to this right now, guys, I'm speaking into your ear, speaking passion and wisdom, guys. Get out there and gain a deeper perspective on life. Travel more. And if you guys haven't already, go and connect with Lane Belone at increasefreedom.com. untitled.com. Guys, last charge I have for you is, I want you guys to just, if you guys got one golden grenade from this show, first and foremost, I want you to go out and implement it. Implement it right now, or put in your calendar for the next week to implement it. Second is I want you guys to share this episode. Guys, I know you guys got friends out there that are ambitious vets or desiring to be more out of the uniform. Maybe they're still in there just kind of in that, like, oh my gosh, what do I do moment, like most of us get on. And guys, share this episode with them. Have them gain a deeper perspective on veterans that are winning out of the uniform and hearing their stories and how they became passion-driven out of the uniform. And third, guys, just rate and review the podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. We're number 5 top leadership and business podcast on those platforms right now in the military category. We're happy to pronounce that, and it's all for you guys. This is our podcast, which is the last thing I just request you guys do is go and send me an email. My personal email is choffman with 2 F's, 2 N's at vettrainingcoaching.com. Your feedback is the life and death of this show, guys. We want to hear your feedback, or if you have any questions, please reach out to me personally. Guys, we know we're warrior made, but now it's time to go become passion driven. Let's go.